This short 8mm film, titled The Great Putdown, was instigated and shot by Peter Helm, who was largely responsible for forming an active Ferrari club in Los Angeles back in the 60s. Peter was an actor, an outlandish sort of character who would pull Ferrari drivers over to the side of the road when he saw them and press gang them into his Ferrari club. Here we see Peter's friend Rick, who had just acquired the Ferrari Coupe, and Peter dragged us up onto Mulholland Drive in order to make this short epic film. There are more stories surrounding Peter's automotive exploits than almost anyone else's I know, and I think most of them are true, like the time he raced a Mercedes SL going down Laurel Canyon backwards. I know that one was true because I was there and I watched him do it. I also witnessed Peter driving his California on a Los Angeles freeway from the passenger seat, making it look like the Invisible Man was driving the car down the freeway. There's Peter behind the wheel of his California Spider doing his impression of Jack Nicholson out of Easy Rider. It was common to hear people say that not much was thought of these cars back then. Their values had yet to be hit by the speculation bubble, but we never saw it that way, and neither did Steve McQueen, who stopped dead in the middle of an intersection on Sunset Boulevard to stare at my GTO. He was in his XKSS at the time. He smiled, waved, and then drove on, but not before he'd caused traffic to back up behind him, wondering why he was stopped. Peter has a substantial archive of 8mm footage featuring his Ferraris, which include a Tour de France Berlinetta, a Monza Spider, and the Mexico Coupes and various other vintage race cars of his friends. They form a rather fascinating document of what I think of as a golden age. And there I am in a shot right out of Bullet in the GTO. The three white tubes that can be seen through the GTO's windshield were for ventilation. If you think that helmet is outlandish, you should have seen Peter's California when he painted it to resemble an army jeep, which he then drove to a Ferrari club meeting to the unanimous outrage of all present. The yellow windbreaker Peter is seen wearing was issued by the Ferrari Owners Club of Los Angeles. I wonder if any of those have survived. This is the same stretch of Mulholland where the actress Tuesday Weld was bounced out of one of Peter's cars when he hit a bump at speed. It was very late on a dark night, and when he turned around to go look for her, he found her climbing up the side of the hill, not very happy about the whole situation. Notice that the driving lights on either side of the GTO's grille have been removed to create extra venting for the engine compartment. The only thing I regret as I watch this footage is that you can't hear the sounds those engines were making. Those V12s were the most extraordinary sounding engines I've ever heard, and I can imagine that sound right now as I watch this footage. I'd never seen this footage until about a week ago. I'm amazed I had the time for this sort of frivolity, but it's thanks to Peter's exuberance that the footage still exists and that I can look back and see a confirmation of a very carefree time.